Hi, I'd like to talk about just getting started, which is the ideas that we've got from our visualization exercise starting to take shape in real form. Working with plasticine or modelling clay. You probably remember doing that when you were a kid. Could be some time ago for some of us, of course. It needs to be worked so that it becomes completely pliable. Now when I did the visualization exercise, let's say for example I was doing the memorial for the Jakarta hotel bombing, in reading the specifications prior to doing that visualization exercise, there were two words that just seemed to resonate. One was this notion of healing after crisis. Now that's a series of words, but it creates a concept in our mind. The other word that was really important was embracing these ideas. So just while I was in that form and ideas started to flow, I was very relaxed, and this notion of unity and healing and this notion of embracing, and I have this picture in my mind of three heads, two looking upwards as though they're looking out into the future, and then one looking down in sorrow, remembering the event. And this notion of embracing is just arms. Now that's all I have at this stage, but it's enough to get started with. Working this plasticine so that it becomes nice and pliable, and then when it's soft and pliable I'll be able to just fashion it to represent the sort of ideas I have in my head. Now if you read my notes on the design process, you might remember a comment, an observation of mine, that some people think that when they start using their hands they can switch off with their brain. It's also a good idea to keep your brain engaged. I'll give you an example. I'm working away on my little design project here, and I'm thinking I must make something so that I can form the eyes and the mouth and the ears and really get some detail. And then when I think through that a bit, I think, now hang on a minute, I'm really talking about this concept of humanity coming together in an embrace. I really don't need to add into this concept, male or female, young or old, Asian, Indonesian or Australian. I don't want to confuse it with or make it more complex with all those concepts. So as I think through it, I think, I really just want stylized human beings, occupants of planet Earth. And then I'm thinking, you know, that's not a bad idea. Glad I thought of that. And I'll use that when I'm presenting this to the review panel, and I'm really starting to prepare weeks ahead for an event that for many people is quite stressful. Standing up in front of a panel of strangers and talking about how you come to produce this as a response to this design challenge. And I guess the point I'm making is that if you don't have this mental shift work arrangement where because you're using your hands you don't have to think, and keep your brain actively involved so that while I'm working on it, guess what? I'm actually working on it. My brain is focused on all these important aspects of it. I'd suggest it's that very thing that makes the difference between professional designers, people that really do well and are valued for their skills, than those that kind of just dabble and enjoy it, but their brain is not fully engaged and they don't reach the same level of performance. Now you may notice, when I first talked about my concept, I had this picture of three heads, two looking up and one looking down. And you'll see there's only two. I'm quite happy with the result. My point is, be prepared to be flexible in your thinking at this stage. Remember, there's no right or wrong. You do have to take a regard for the project specification because that's what the client's listed they need. So you have to be mindful of that. But in terms of, in this case, whether there are 3 figurines or just 2, that's completely open to you. Here's the other head I made. So I did intend to make 3, but as it takes shape, I'm thinking, I kind of like it like this. So be prepared to be flexible.